6 months after a devastating car crash that changed her life forever, Amara Thompson rolled her wheelchair down the polished halls of Willow Creek Academy, a prestigious private school nestled in the heart of San Francisco. It was March 2027, and as the new black student in a predominantly white institution, Amara had prepared herself for curious glances. But nothing could have braced her for the vicious cruelty that awaited. When Lauren Parker, the reigning queen of the dance team, flanked by her loyal followers, Emily Stone and Rachel Brooks, cornered Amara in the school courtyard, they didn't just mock her, they yanked her from her wheelchair, leaving her sprawled on the cold pavement under the spring sun, their laughter echoing as they recorded her humiliation. What they didn't know was that Amara, before the accident, had been a martial arts prodigy, trained relentlessly by her father, a former Navy SEAL with a no-nonsense approach to combat. The morning of her first day at Willow Creek was crisp, the sky a vibrant blue that belied the storm brewing in Amara's heart. Her father, James Thompson, drove her to school with steady hands, his eyes flicking to her in the rearview mirror. "You okay, kiddo?" he asked, his voice a mix of warmth and steel. Amara nodded, her gaze fixed on the world blurring past. "Just not sure what today's gonna bring," she admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. 6 months ago, she'd been a star athlete in her Oakland high school, her confidence lighting up every room. Then came the screech of tires, the blinding headlights, and the shattering crunch of metal that stole her ability to walk. Now, at Willow Creek, she felt like an outsider in a sea of privilege, where students in designer clothes whispered as she maneuvered her wheelchair through the gates. From the moment she arrived, eyes followed her. "Who's the new girl?" one student muttered. "Probably getting special treatment," another sneered. Amara clenched her jaw, refusing to let their words cut too deep. At the front office, Mrs. Larson, a kind but weary administrator, handed her a schedule with a polite smile. As Amara turned to leave, Lauren and her posse swept in, their presence commanding the room. Lauren's green eyes raked over Amara with icy disdain. "They're letting anyone in here now, huh?" she whispered to Emily and Rachel, their giggles sharp as knives. Amara's throat tightened, but she rolled past, refusing to engage. Her first week was a gauntlet of whispered taunts and judgmental stares. In history class, Mr. Daniels, a well-meaning but awkward teacher, cleared a spot for her wheelchair, but Lauren and her crew sat in the back, their mocking comments just loud enough for Amara to hear. "Guess the school's desperate to look inclusive," Lauren sneered. "Bet she's faking it for pity," Rachel added. Each word was a dagger, but Amara stayed silent, her hands gripping the wheels until her knuckles whitened. The cruelty escalated. One afternoon, Lauren and her friends helped Amara by shoving her wheelchair through a crowded hall, feigning kindness while jostling her roughly. "Making way for our special friend," Emily called out, her voice dripping with sarcasm. Another day, Rachel accidentally spilled a tray of food in front of Amara's chair, drawing pitying stares from the lunchroom crowd. In PE, where Amara could only watch from the sidelines, Lauren's fake concern, "Let's not hurt our fragile friend," cut deeper than any insult. At home, Amara's pain spilled into the garage, where James had built a training space after the accident. She pushed herself harder than ever, her arms trembling as she gripped the parallel bars, sweat mixing with silent tears. James watched, his heart breaking. "You don't have to do this alone," he said, kneeling beside her. "Something's going on at school, isn't it?" Amara shook her head, unwilling to burden him. "I just want to be strong again, Dad." But her mother, Lisa, noticed the change too. At dinner, her gentle questions met with Amara's deflections. "Just homework, Mom. I'm fine." Lisa and James exchanged worried glances, knowing their daughter was fighting a battle she wouldn't share. The breaking point came on a foggy Friday afternoon in the student parking lot. Amara and her friend Mia Chun were heading to Mia's car when Lauren's voice rang out. "Need help, Amara?" Before she could react, Lauren yanked her wheelchair away, leaving Amara clinging to the car door. Lauren spun the chair mockingly, her eyes gleaming with malice. "Bet it feels nice to be so special," she taunted, as Emily and Rachel filmed, their laughter a cruel chorus. Amara's heart pounded, but she refused to cry. "Give it back," she said, her voice steady despite the fear. Lauren smirked. "Why don't you stand up and take it?" The crowd watched in silence, no one daring to intervene. Even Mia froze when Lauren threatened to make her go viral. Finally, Lauren tossed the chair back, crashing it into the car, and strutted away, leaving Amara humiliated. That night, Amara couldn't sleep. The video of her humiliation spread online, each view a fresh wound. On Monday, she gathered her courage and rolled into Vice Principal Robert Mitchell's office. "Lauren, Emily, and Rachel attacked me," she said, her voice shaking but firm. "They recorded it to humiliate me." Mitchell leaned back, skepticism in his eyes. "Lauren Parker? She's a star student. Are you sure this wasn't just a prank?" Amara's heart sank. "Check the cameras, sir." Mia saw it too, but Mitchell dismissed her. "Kids tease, Amara. Don't make a big deal out of it." The betrayal hit harder than Lauren's cruelty, leaving Amara feeling utterly alone. But that dismissal lit a fire in her. She threw herself into training, guided by James's wisdom. Bullies thrive on your anger. Stay calm, think strategically. Each night, she honed her martial arts skills, not just her body but her mind, learning to control her emotions. At school, Lauren's taunts continued, but Amara met them with a calm silence that unnerved her tormentors. One day, when Lauren mocked her in the hall, Amara looked her in the eye and said, "You can keep trying, Lauren, but I'm done letting you control me." Lauren's confidence faltered, a crack in her armor. The tension exploded one evening after debate club, in a deserted hallway bathed in the glow of fading daylight. Lauren, Emily, and Rachel ambushed Amara, blocking her path. "You think you're tough now?" Lauren sneered, lunging forward and yanking Amara from her chair. Pain seared through Amara's body as she hit the concrete, but as Lauren taunted her, something shifted. James's voice echoed in her mind. "True strength comes from your heart." Gritting her teeth, Amara pushed herself up, her arms trembling but unyielding. Lauren's smug grin vanished as Amara stood, her eyes blazing with defiance. "You were wrong to think you could break me," Amara said, her voice cutting through the silence. Lauren, enraged, lunged again, but Amara was ready. With the precision of her martial arts training, she dodged, grabbed Lauren's wrist, and twisted, sending her crashing down. Emily charged, only to be felled by a swift kick to the knee. Rachel hesitated, then rushed in, but Amara locked her arm, forcing her to her knees. In seconds, the trio lay defeated, their phones clattering to the ground. Mia, watching in awe, recorded it all. Amara stood tall, her voice steady. "This isn't about revenge, Lauren. It's about showing you that no one gets to hurt others to feel powerful." Lauren, sprawled on the ground, was speechless, her pride shattered. As Amara and Mia left, students whispered in awe, their pity replaced by respect. The video went viral, reaching Principal Elizabeth Carter. Furious at Mitchell's inaction, she fired him and expelled Lauren, Emily, and Rachel, who faced assault charges. Amara's story spread nationally, inspiring millions. Willow Creek overhauled its anti-bullying policies, appointing English teacher Sarah Kim, who'd advocated for Amara, as the new vice principal. At the policy unveiling, Sarah declared, "No student will ever be ignored again." That night, Amara sat with her parents, tears of gratitude in her eyes. "You showed the world what true strength is," James said, hugging her tightly. Amara's journey wasn't just about victory, it was about justice, courage, and rewriting the narrative for those who'd been silenced. But was her stand in the hallway a triumph of justice or a dangerous escalation? Should she have fought back physically, or was there another way to confront her bullies? If you saw this in your community, would you intervene or stay silent to avoid trouble? Share your thoughts below, like, and subscribe for more stories of resilience and redemption.